Hey guys, King Recap here, welcome back to the channel. Today we are recapping an action-adventure thriller called Limitless. Lock in and take care. The movie kicks off with our protagonist, a man we'll call Eddie, standing on the edge of a luxurious penthouse rooftop. Someone's trying to break into his apartment below, and he's clearly terrified, tears streaming down his face as he prepares to jump. What led him to this desperate moment? Flashback 3 months. We find Eddie, a New York City author, utterly stuck. He's battling severe writer's block, staring down a looming deadline, and nursing a broken heart after being dumped by his girlfriend, Lindy. Life's just not going his way. Then, a chance encounter changes everything. Eddie runs into a familiar face, Vernon, the brother of his ex-wife. Vernon, a known drug dealer, offers Eddie a nootropic drug called NZT-48. The claim? It unlocks a staggering 100% of your brain's capacity, far beyond the usual 20%. After some convincing, Eddie takes the pill and heads home. Eddie pops the pill right outside his apartment, and bam! The world snaps into hyperfocus. His landlord's wife, a law student, is instantly recognizable from a college textbook he remembers. He helps her effortlessly write 50 pages of her report. Back in his apartment, he cranks out 90 pages of his book, much to his publisher's delight. But there's a troubling side effect. He has almost no memory of his time under the drug's influence. Vernon starts making Eddie run tedious errands in exchange for more NZT. But when Eddie returns to Vernon's apartment after one such task, he finds a gruesome scene. Vernon shot dead, the place ransacked. Thinking fast, Eddie quickly locates Vernon's hidden stash of NZT-48, a small wad of cash, and a book of addresses, grabbing them just before the police arrive. Fueled by NZT-48, Eddie finishes his book in record time, but he soon realizes he's capable of so much more. He develops an uncanny ability to spot stock market trends, quadrupling his investments daily. Eager to amass a fortune, he secures a risky $100,000 loan from a Russian mafia thug, Gennady. Within days, that loan skyrockets to $2 million at a trading arcade. His sudden success garners media attention, but something more sinister is brewing. He notices a mysterious man in a tan coat seemingly following his every move. Amidst all this, he manages to rekindle his relationship with Lindy. Eddie's meteoric rise catches the eye of a powerful businessman, Carl Van Loon, who wants Eddie's advice on a massive merger deal. Eddie spends the night before the meeting indulging in heavy partying, fueled by NZT. He wakes up in a hotel room with a blonde woman, with no memory of the previous day. Panicked, he rushes out, still tailed by the man in the tan coat. He meets with Van Loon, having not yet taken his daily dose of NZT or even looked at the merger brief. As they discuss the deal, Eddie has a startling realization. The competitor, Hank Atwood, might also be an NZT user, given his own rapid ascent to wealth. Just then, a news report breaks. The woman Eddie was with last night has been murdered. Worried about his sudden sickness, Eddie seeks advice from his ex-wife, Melissa, who reveals she's a former NZT user. She explains the terrifying side effects of quitting cold turkey: nausea, vomiting, crippling headaches, and that's just the beginning. Even 2 years after quitting, Melissa feels sluggish and unmotivated. Eddie returns home, only to be ambushed by Gennady, who snatches his last NZT pill, demanding payment for the loan. Eddie tells Lindy he has a hidden stash of the drug at her apartment and asks her to bring it over. As she does, she's followed by the man in the tan coat. Eddie convinces her to take one pill, giving her the heightened awareness she needs to injure the man and escape. She returns the stash to Eddie, but deeply unnerved by what he's become, she leaves him again. Eddie starts to carefully reduce his NZT dosage, hoping to avoid complete memory blackouts. He continues to build his wealth, hires bodyguards, and even commissions a laboratory to reverse engineer NZT. Meanwhile, the Russian mobster, Gennady, has learned about the drug and begins blackmailing Eddie for more. Eddie helps Van Loon with the merger deal, which promises him a cool $40 million if it goes through. Amidst this, Eddie is named a suspect in the murder case. He hires a top attorney to defend him and, fearing for his safety, buys a highly secured penthouse safehouse. On the day of the merger signing, Atwood's wife appears instead, announcing Atwood has fallen into a coma but still wants the deal to proceed. As Eddie and Van Loon escort her, Eddie recognizes her driver as the man in the tan coat. He suddenly understands. Atwood was trying to get his NZT stash from Eddie. Later, Eddie is called to a police lineup for the murder. His attorney holds his custom-made jacket. The witness doesn't recognize Eddie, and he's cleared. But he soon discovers his NZT stash is gone from his jacket. He then sees his attorney on television, representing Atwood, and realizes the betrayal. As Eddie battles severe NZT withdrawals in his safe house, Gennady and his henchmen smash their way in, desperate for more of the drug. Eddie contemplates jumping to end it all, the scene from the beginning, but then remembers he might have one more pill. He finds it just as the Russians burst in, causing him to drop it into a grate. Gennady reveals he's found a way to inject NZT directly into his bloodstream, claiming it's a faster way to achieve the drug's effects. Eddie seizes the moment, attacking Gennady and killing him with a kitchen knife. Desperate for NZT, with no pills left, Eddie resorts to a horrifying act. He drinks Gennady's blood, successfully regaining his enhanced faculties. One of the henchmen returns to find the gruesome scene. Eddie, using a syringe needle as a blow dart, blinds the Russians. He then cleverly tricks the blinded goon into killing his sidekick by impersonating him, using his newly acquired Russian language skills, before ultimately eliminating the last Russian. Later, learning Atwood has died, Eddie convinces the man in the tan coat of his attorney's deception, and the two recover Eddie's stolen NZT stash. A year later, Eddie is still incredibly wealthy, his book is a bestseller, and he's running for the United States Senate. Van Loon visits him, initially appearing friendly, but soon reveals he's bought the company that made NZT and shut down the lab Eddie hired. He offers Eddie an unlimited supply of NZT in exchange for political favors and protection from legal troubles. But Eddie has a surprise for Van Loon. He's been steps ahead all along. Not only did he hire multiple labs to work on NZT, but he's also successfully weaned himself off the drug while retaining all his heightened mental abilities. He calmly points out Van Loon's terminal heart condition, predicting his imminent death, and escorts him back to his car. Later, Eddie meets Lindy at a Chinese restaurant. He effortlessly orders his meal in perfect Mandarin with the waiter. Lindy stares, astonished. "What?" he asks, as the movie ends. If you like content like this, then like and subscribe for more. Thanks for watching.